Hello, everyone. Welcome again to the Blessings channel. My name is Asti Chandrakar. I'm tuning in from Atlanta. I'm a volunteer teacher with the Art of Living Foundation. And today I have this privilege of introducing you to someone very special, Manjula Banga ji from California Bay Area. Manjula ji has been a long-standing teacher with the Art of Living Foundation. She has been traveling and teaching the advanced courses, what we call as the graduate programs, all over the world, across multiple countries and continents. She's been, teacher and a favorite person to many of us, there back in Bay Area and also here in the East Coast. So very welcome to the program today, Manjula ji. It's a privilege to have you in here.
Thank you for inviting.
Sure. So today we'll begin by asking our favorite question. What does blessing mean to you, Manjula ji? And does that really work?
You see, sometimes in life, we all face challenges, right? And we do seek blessings. And if they are coming from someone who has a sense of abundance, has inner contentment, and also is free from cravings and aversions, when we seek blessings from someone like that, we do have this confidence that it will work for us. And it does. So that space which is passed down from that person is blessing.
Wow. So beautiful. So beautiful. I could totally relate to that because every single time when we reach out to someone seeking blessings, it's at a space that gets created between the person seeking blessing and the person giving blessing is the most precious. That's what, matters. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Manjula ji. And I know that you have been teaching blessings programs for several years now. And pretty sure you must have come across several stories of transformation, in your students. Would you like to share some of your insights on the beauty of the blessings program itself?
Yeah, I've been teaching blessing courses for about over 11, 12 years now. So, and in multiple places, and I have seen later when people come, they have reported that, so they have a sense of abundance, they have an inner sense of joy, which is not related to something outside, something within themselves, and they recognize that space within themselves of joy. And also, they feel that they are more centered and they are in that space of a giver because they have an abundance, so they are ready to give, become a blesser and then bless others. So that also is possible, and they have a general sense of well-being and connected. That's what I have. That's what they have been really sharing, and there have been some very strong effects also. Something like, there was this person who had she had a throat cancer and she could not speak. And it had been about 10 years that she had lost her voice. She was there in the blessing course. We invited her. So she could hear, and just through expression, she would do that. And after the course, she was in tears and she found her voice back. And she spoke after 10 years. Then there was another very interesting happening, that there was a couple who had not spoken to each other for 10 years, for about 7 years. And they both registered, both of them were into Art of Living. They both registered. And after having gone through all the processes, when they went back home, so I heard that they fell in love with each other once again, all over again. So that was very interesting.
Very interesting and very beautiful. Thank you, Manjula ji, for sharing those. Has there ever been a time that maybe you were going through a difficult phase and you reached out to somebody in the Art of Living, one of the blessers there, and sought a blessing, and how that made a difference in your experience in your life?
Well, yeah, I had gone for Shivratri, and during the Shivratri, when we checked into the hotel, the boiling hot water from the kettle fell on my face. It was an accident, and I burnt this side of my face, right side of the face, and it was second and third degree burns. So, to cut the long story short, I was immediately taken to the hospital. They did some treatment which is called putting an artificial skin.
Mhm.
So that was to stay for about 4 days, and only then they will remove that. So I'm not a doctor, but then I felt that, every few hours or every day, the skin specialist would call me and ask me if I was having pain, and I would have no pain. They had given me a bunch of medicines since I didn't have pain, so I didn't take them. So after about 4 days, when I went and I met Gurudev,
Mhm.
and I was standing in front of him, and he said, what happened? And okay, the hot water had fallen down. I said, yes. So in my mind, I had this, that how will I look once these bandages and everything is removed, and my mind was in turmoil. So I told him, I said, Gurudev, please let my face look in a way that you would like to see. And he just raised his hands and he said, everything will be okay. And he went away. So I came back home where I was staying, and I had terrible body pain, as if there were broken bones. So next day when the doctor called, and I told him that the whole night I haven't been able to sleep and I have been taking those painkillers, and yet there is terrible pain. And he said, thank God. And then he shared that the skin was forming, but the nerves were dead. So with the blessing, the nerves came alive. Otherwise,
Wow.
what would I do with the skin with no nerve supply? So that was the effect of the blessing on me, which is firsthand that I have experienced. And then there have been another time also when I was hospitalized and I was in for an emergency surgery. And here were these bunch of blessers who were sending blessings and chanting Om Namah Shivaya for me. Every couple of hours they will get together and they would do it. And I was in the middle of the night, the pain was so much that they decided to do an emergency surgery, and they would use the conventional method because it was supposed to be done by a laser, and the one who knows the laser technique was not available. So they took me to the lab for scanning, and there I passed off for a few moments. And there was a total chaos. And in that moment, I could only hear Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. And it must have lasted just for a few moments. And I came back. The pain had gone, and I was settled. And I'm wondering, where am I hearing? How does this lab has Om Namah Shivaya chants? And then later on, I came to know that it was a group of blessers who were chanting.
Was it somewhere in the hospital, like around your room, or somewhere far?
No, somewhere far.
Wow.
They were chanting. In fact, they were chanting. They would have a Zoom session and
Wow.
chant together.
Mm.
Group of people. So
Wow.
it was amazing for me also to experience that.
It's absolutely amazing and very, very heart touching. Thank you for sharing that, Manjula ji. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. So, as a long time teacher with the Art of Living Foundation, you've been teaching across continents. Um, I would love to hear how the experience of blessing and other advanced courses that you teach, has made a difference in people's life, all, from all walks of life. Um, um, there must have been stories of healing, deeper transformations. Could you please share some of those, from your teaching experiences?
Yeah, the best thing that I have, I mean, most of the things that I've heard from people is that over time, they develop a say over their senses. Like if somebody is a compulsive eater or an overeater, would have a say. Someone who is fond of watching movies, even when the person is tired, but still cannot help, but keep watching movie. The senses, they will develop a sense where they have a sense of say or control over their senses. So that brings them to a pattern, or the patterns are broken and they come to their own center and they're more productive in whatever they are doing. And that has been my personal experience also, because before coming into Art of Living, even my anger used to be sitting right here. Yeah, so later on, after having gone through the different courses which are offered in Art of Living, then the situations had not changed. But my response was different. Instead of being angry, I used to laugh. What is this going on? And then I would pinch myself to see if I'm the same person. So these deep level changes I have observed in myself also and in others also. And I have also observed that there is a lot more acceptance of people, even if they are not behaving well or if they are not very nice to you, but still you develop a tolerance. Okay, that's how they are. Instead of collecting any payoffs from them, and also acceptance of situations.
Right.
And no matter what is happening, but there is a centeredness that I feel, which I feel, and which people have also reported, that they feel that there is they feel more centered, and that's where, and they feel that they can face the world and they can face challenges in their life. And of course, there is a better sense of well-being, the health conditions. There was someone who had come I remember even the first level course I was teaching, and someone had come and she had paralysis of the right side. So she could do the processes, with assistance. And on the last day of the course, she went into the kitchen and cooked a vegetable pulao and brought it and walked into the room herself.
Wow. Wow.
So these are the miracles that I have experienced in people. And there was this person with cancer, and he had never attended Art of Living, so he was advised by someone, and he came and attended the first level of the course. And after that, when he would go for his chemotherapy, the next day or the following day, he would be fine. And his staff used to wonder what he's doing, that after chemotherapy, people take about 2, 3 days to recover. How come he just comes next day and he's totally alert? He was such an example to his staff that next course I had about 5 people from his department to come and attend what he was doing. How can a cancer patient be so alert and active? So
Wow.
these are some surprises that I have seen in other people's lives and in myself also.
Wonderful. And those are stories that, if I am correct, you're sharing about people doing the basic course, the first
Yes, yeah,
Sky program,
the
Sky
first
becoming.
level,
Wow.
the
Wow.
first level, and they were practicing all that. They were doing some pranayams
Yeah.
and Sudarshan Kriya, which is a rhythmic breathing.
Wow.
and they were practicing it. And that brought so much of visible change in them.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing, Manjula ji. And I'm sure you teach many, many advanced courses as well. So if the story and experience of the foundation program is so profound, I can't begin to imagine, what those advanced courses like blessings must be doing to people. Right? Wow.
Definitely.
Great. So let's maybe rewind a little bit, and would love to hear these stories of how you first came into the Art of Living Foundation. Where did your journey begin, and what has kept you going for all these years?
Well, my entry into the art of living is a pure accident, but a beautiful accident. And that's it. There was someone in Delhi at that time who was entrusted with the responsibility to organize a course, and she was a good friend of ours. So those days, she called me, and she's at 10 o'clock at night, that this is what she has been asked to do by some other friend. And there was this teacher who was visiting from US, and so we should come and be there. Otherwise, she'll have no face to show that she hasn't done anything. I didn't ask her anything. I didn't know about art of living. I knew nothing about Gurudev. I knew nothing about foundation. I went there to just help my friend save her face. That's all. With that intention, I went there. And of course, the course happened. We did Sudarshan Kriya, and there were some knowledge points, but the course was very brief at that time because not many people were willing to take it. So that's it. And the teacher was leaving, and I said, all right, but it left a very strong impression on me. So I was practicing whatever she had taught us, and then we had an opportunity to meet Gurudev after about 4 or 5 days. And yeah, that is where my journey started. And on the sidelines, I had met some lady who would come from Singapore and go to Rishikesh in the month of March, and her face was very shiny. So I asked her, I said, what do you do? She says she goes, and there is a camp which happens only in the month of March. So I told her, I said, even I want to go there next time. But I didn't know that it's Art of Living, advanced course or whatever it is. I just wanted to get that shine. So after having done this Sudarshan Kriya, I came to know that now I can go and attend that workshop, whatever it is. So in my idea, people's face shine because when they have special kind of food, they have special massage sessions, and they have facials. In my context of life, these were the only ways for people to have that shining face. So with those intentions, I waited for the March, and definitely we went to Rishikesh, and it was a silence course happening, the part 2. And at that time, Guruji was the teacher who would teach the full course. So we were there, and I was in for a lot of shock because there were no massage sessions. There were no facials. And on top of that, there is knowledge. And then we go into silence. We can't even speak. And then meditating. I have never meditated before in my life. So the mind, once we are not talking, the mind was chattering all the time. When will there be a massage? When will there be a facial? And when will they give us special food? What is this going on? So from that chattering mind, I came to an inner silence, and then precipitation of some inner joy and happiness and contentment. And then there were some very special experiences which could not be contained within the intellect. They were beyond the intellect.
Mm.
So all those experiences together made a lot of difference on me, and that was the first time when I realized that the capacity of the intellect is limited, and there is lots beyond the intellect. But we do need to transcend, have an opportunity or circumstances or someone a guru to help you, to support you, to transcend that and have that experience. So that I consider as my first step to spirituality and art of living. After that, I have never looked back because the life has been full of miracles.
Wow. Wow. And I'm imagining that several such experiences of dropping from head/intellect to heart has probably kept you going, because all of us know you as a person very much driven by heart. You are like a mom to all of us, right? Like in every course, you bring that mom's energy in there. So, yeah, we always see you operating from the space of heart. So, it's beautiful to hear like how your journey actually started from being in the space of intellect, and then we see you
Oh,
where we
yes.
see today.
I would not stop analyzing, but then there came a point when my analysis would fail and things were happening. So when you have those experiences, then comes a point, okay, my there are other dimensions to life which are beyond the capacity of the intellect.
Right.
And all that you need is a guru to help you walk the path. So I'm very,
Beautiful.
very grateful for that accident.
Very nice. Thank you, Manjula ji, for sharing. So that kind of makes me wonder, what was your very first blessings experience? Because you said you started teaching blessings courses about a decade or a little over ago. But I'm sure earlier in your times in Art of Living, you probably came across, blessers, and then you probably had experience of receiving a blessing. What was your very first one?
My
If you
very first one was a very traumatic experience, actually, because there was a bomb blast in the place where I was staying, and I had just accidentally moved away about 20-25 steps away from that spot. And after coming back home, I got a call from Gurudev. And all that he wanted to know was that how far was I from the spot? And then I moved further, and there were some more bomb blasts from this spot which I had left. So there were a series of bomb blasts. So there was an unseen hand which was guiding me. And when I got a phone call from Gurudev, I just kept crying with gratitude that he knew that what was happening and where was I. He even wants to know the distance and the steps that I had moved away. So that put me into, thoughts that he has such strong connection with us. How about me? How can I have connection with him? So if I want to connect with him, how will I connect with him? And that is when, just a few days before that, the blessing course had happened, the first batch. And immediately after this incident, a month later, the second batch was announced. I said, there is nothing that will stop me from going and attending one. So that prompted me, because I was a receiver that of his, then okay, let me go and see and be a blesser and have a connection, an inner connection with the divine and with him. So that is what was my
Wow, that's so beautifully
that was
put.
my nudge for going
Yeah,
there.
so beautifully put. That blessing is a way to experience that inner connection with the divinity and the master, and then sustaining and taking that connection everywhere we go in life. Wow, wow. Beautiful. So, I mean, that makes me think about, we obviously, we feel so blessed to be in this space. I am feeling so blessed right now to be in your presence and, getting to listen to all these stories, such profound, powerful stories. But my heart always goes out to people in the world. There's so many challenges and so many conflicts,
Yes.
name it, and then those problems, are unfolding in the world. Do you think in the world today that these techniques are essential to keep up with the pace of life, the conflicts, the challenges that people are, going around?
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's not that they have to shed something, just come forward. I mean, in any case, you are breathing.
Yeah.
You cannot stop breathing. So if you come and you breathe in a rhythm and you can find the changes in you, I mean, what can be a better or an easier method to sort out things? See, when we are angry, there is a kind of breath that we have. When we are sad, then our breath is very different. And when we are happy, our breath is very different. So, according to all of that, there is a set pattern of the breath, and corresponding to that set pattern of the breath, we have a health profile, physical health profile, a mental health profile, and an emotional profile. So now, when you go through this rhythmic breathing of Sudarshan Kriya, your breath quality changes permanently. And with that change quality, the mind has to change. The physical health has to change. And the emotional profile has to change. There is no choice.
Mhm.
It's very scientific and such an easy way of doing it. So I sometimes wonder why wish people would have similar accidents and just walk in and experience it for them.
Yeah, that's a beautiful wish, wish and prayer and desire to have.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll have a we'll have happy individuals, happier families, and happy countries, and a happy, good universe.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would imagine that is the idea behind Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar's vision behind the happiness center in every zip code at one point in time, he said, right? Happiness center, because it would
Absolutely,
people
absolutely.
could come and experience the absolute joy that it uh, lives in our hearts, right? Like it's just the matter of exploring it, with these breathwork
Absolutely.
practices. Beautiful.
Absolutely.
So Manjula ji, on a lighter note, maybe, what do you usually do when you are not teaching an Art of Living program or not sending a blessing to someone in the world seeking for it?
Oh, yeah. So I love traveling.
You do?
So, with friends, then I have my sisters. So we take off and then just go and, you know, waste our time together, as we call it. Then I love to spend time with my grandkids. And when I
Mm,
play with my grandkids, I have discovered my creativity, how I can design games, different games for the different age groups.
mm,
So I love to do that. And I have lots of friends. So we meet up.
right.
So these are the various things that I spend my time in, and reading. I'm very fond of reading and
Right.
scriptures and knowledge. So that is what keeps me
So
busy.
sweet. Yeah, and we also got some visuals and heard wonderful stories of your very special birthday celebration a week ago there in California. Tell us, wish you a very belated, very happy birthday, Manjula ji. May you keep healthy and smiling, and keep spreading your joy and love and beauty to all of us and to the world the way you do in a very special way. Tell us about that celebration. What was the highlight?
Well, yeah, it was the group that I work with. See, the best thing is that you have your own sangha as your family,
Yeah,
which is very close to you. So it was a 75th birthday and was celebrated by the sangha, and
right.
I mean, of course, they checked with me if I had some other commitments or something, or So I said, all right, okay. So then I would say, my family said, how can you have them do everything? So
Yeah.
they want to, they also wanted to be useful and do something. So when I would call, they would say, you just chill. So I knew nothing what was happening, and this birthday was celebrated with such love and conviction and joy that it looked that, after having celebrated all of that, I felt that there is nothing more that I really need now. There's so much of joy all around, and all age group, and my whole family was there, and my husband sang, and we all danced.
Wow.
So it was a very amazing moment and very memorable moment.
I'm so happy we could create, a bit of that for you there on the West Coast. In Art of Living, we always say anywhere we go on the planet and we have an Art of Living family waiting for us. So that reminds
Absolutely.
me of that. And you have been, in fact, to many countries and many continents. Have you noticed any difference in how people learn and perceive these courses, Art of Living courses, and from place to place? Anything interesting that comes to you?
Um, Not too much, but except that there are some places where they are a lot into their, intellect, and then they take a little longer to transcend. But when they transcend, they don't look back. And there is a willingness to do that. And in some places, they start with faith. So when they come, they are already in faith and in conviction. And they are already in that space, so they learn it very quickly and adapt. But both
Mm,
are okay and both are fine, those journeys. And people who take steps quickly, they stay longer. That's been
mm,
my experience as well. Otherwise, after some time, some people can fizzle out. But most of the places, people just stay. Because it's not only that you learn the techniques, you find another family whose values are the same,
yeah,
and they're all joyful.
mm.
So that also connects them together. So it really doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah, that's the most powerful thing I believe in Art of Living. It just makes us as one global, one world family. It really doesn't matter where you are. And this human connection between heart to heart is like so easily available and accessible to us
Absolutely.
wherever we go. World Culture Festival was probably, one of those uh, very palpable experience, right? Like all of us had.
Absolutely. I was a part of that World
We
Cultural
were.
Festival, organizing the second time in Delhi,
Mhm.
2015. Asked me. We
Sure.
had we had numbers that we could never imagine. And the best thing was that there was so much of police all around. And after the whole thing was over, they came and they said they've never had this kind of crowd where they were totally redundant and had nothing to do. So much of crowd, no fights, no nothing for them to control, tear gas shells, or and all those things. So we were just sitting and standing and enjoying ourselves. We've never enjoyed the duty.
Despite all those torrential rains in the middle of the event.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I believe it was a similar response here in DC, in Washington DC as well for the World Culture Festival 2023, wasn't it?
Yeah. There also, even the taxi drivers and all
Yeah,
were wondering, and they wanted to know what is going on. Even we want to learn.
you want to
A lot of
learn,
them
right?
took the details from us.
Yep, a couple of them are in touch with me too. The Uber drivers, yeah. Wonderful, Manjula ji. Anything else that's coming to you from Blessings space or any of your other Art of Living courses or space that you would like to share with our audience? Because thousands and millions of people are going to watch this in coming, months and years ahead. So, any message from your side to our audience?
Yeah, just keep coming, and the biggest blessing when you are in human body is experience of devotion and having a guru in your life. You know, there is a word called anath. So anath in Hindi, someone who doesn't have a guru is actually anath. Guru is a window to the divinity. You're fortunate if you can find one, and also an inner experience of devotion. There's nothing more which can give you that inner peace and joy.
Absolutely. Wow, so beautifully put. Thank you so much, Manjula ji, for saying that, for wrapping it up so beautifully. And thank you so much for taking the time, for being with us today. We know you were teaching a blessings course this weekend in Fremont, California, and you have barely just wrapped up the course, and then you found time to be on the forum with us today and then speak about your journey and experience. So thank you so much. Deep gratitude to you for everything that you do. And
Thank
please
you for
continue doing
inviting.
that more and more. Thank you so much, Manjula ji.
Thank you.
Take care.